Good morning, YouTube. Sandy C is back with some more uncommon sense, and I've got one coming to you. Some might call it a parenting hack, some might call it a life hack, a little trick, whatever. I'm going to tell you a little story, and I'm going to tell you how it applies to you. Okay? Well, I recently did that to my thumb, and as you can see, it is not like the other one. Yay! Okay? So this hack or trick or just using common sense is something I just put into place, so I want to share it. But the first time I thought of this was years and years and years ago. I was at a local pub, and the song Jump Around came on, and this honky-tonk can hop. So I was jumping around, and I didn't know it, but there was an old projector above my head. Figured you'd have enough clearance. And when I jumped, there was a metal blade under it. Split me to my skull. I didn't know it. Such a clean, just like a razor sticking out of the ceiling almost. I didn't even know it. A friend of mine was bartending. She comes up to me. She's like, why's your head all wet? She touched my hair and brings her hand back, and it's just covered in black because we're in a dark bar. She's like, oh shit, I think you're bleeding. And it was just like, bleh. I was like, all right, nobody panic. Nobody panic. Luckily, I'm friends with everyone at this bar. So I have them just take me to the back. I'm like, all right, let's assess this. Nobody's calling an ambulance unless you want to pay the $5,000 to $15,000 tab. Don't ever call a darn ambulance unless my head is detached. Rolling down the road, maybe then. Okay, none of this is medical advice. So this is what I do to stay sane and make sucky situations suck less. And then what we're getting into is the hospital, okay? So, open my head up. Of course, one of my bartender buddies is all like, cool. Oh, I touched your skull, cool. And I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. Okay, here are the rules, guys. Tell me up. I know I need to go to the hospital. I got that part covered. I already know what I'm going to need because I've done this before. But I made a couple rules. I go, 1, I need a shot of Jameson right now. Number 2, somebody get on that phone and order me $20 worth of Taco Bell. And number 3, who's got one of them Colorado cigarettes? Let me get one of those. All right. Now, why do you do all this? Well, most people end up going to a hospital and waiting 4 to 6 hours, and they're hungry. And how terrible is that? And especially if you have kids that are hungry, I don't think they make a worse thing on earth. I mean, I was awful. I'm the worst person now. If I'm hungry, I'll eat your finger. I'll eat your baby. I'll eat whatever. I get ravenously angry. I'm not nice to deal with. I'm a terrible creature when I'm hungry, as most of you probably are. So, But, so by having that sack of Taco Bell and the Colorado cigarette, I was able to chill. It was cool. Whatever. I was a little hoo-hoo, so I could have some fun in the waiting room. The 4-hour wait went by a lot quicker than if you were hungry or in writhing pain, screaming and kicking, or having to deal with kids, because you're sitting next to all the creatures of Walmart. They just all meet in ERs all the time. Okay? And the reason I bring this up, because I just did this. Oh boy, a couple days ago, 5 days ago now. This is not good. So what I do, I didn't go, hey babe, I'm going to the hospital. I said, hey babe, we're going to lunch. And we went to a joint down the street. I got me a big fat burger, couple shots of Jameson, and then I was like, all right, now I'm going to call my buddy at the hospital. It also helps to have that so you can just kind of in and out. But the point is, before you have to go in for anything, unless you have a limb hanging off, unless it's a true emergency, don't run there without getting some ducks in a row. Fill your belly. Waiting full is a lot easier than waiting hungry. And let's face it, do you want any of that food at the hospital? I mean, we all say the Jell-O is the best, but the Jell-O still sucks. Why is it the hospital Jell-O is significantly worse than Jell-O that you can get everywhere else? I'm like, what? This doesn't even make sense. So remember, hospital Jell-O is only good by default. It's like the least shittiest thing they have. Okay? So, when you do something stupid, if you do have to go to a hospital or medical facility or whatever, fill that belly up. Get yourself comfortable. Have a couple of Colorado cigarettes, all right? And this will even help much more for kids because they're even crazier, especially in pain. All right, guys, Sandy C's out.